Welcome to the Built for Playmakers YouTube channel. I'm your host, Kelvin Hunt, editor of ChopChat.com. Hope you guys are doing well. And all I got to say is, where is the lie? Where is the lie? Talking about the Duke game here. Going to get into that a little bit, along with a few other things. But I put this on Twitter. I said, I don't like to get on here and try to give a reaction to games right after the games are over without having a chance to really watch it for a second or third time. Because a lot of times what you thought you saw isn't true. And sometimes you hear guys, they'll give their reaction, then they'll go back and watch the game and they'll be like, oh, well, this is different than what I thought. So instead of just wasting time and putting out, dumb narratives, I like to watch the footage and all that good stuff. So in this video, we're going to go back and look at mostly the FSU defensive side of the ball, because that's where I think a lot of the angst was early on. For whatever reason, the defense just catches criticism, and people are immune to, or I should say allergic to criticizing the offense. But, whatever. The offense is why, Duke had half of their points, so, but yeah, I told you in the video before the game that I told you where Duke was vulnerable. I said that FSU could hit their backers out of the backfield. You saw Keziah Holmes had a touchdown catch to the flats. Toa Philly had one. We showed footage of them being vulnerable to the middle of the field with a tie-in. Jaheim Bell had a big game. And not only that, they attacked in the middle of the field with other guys. Johnny Wilson had a big catch. Keon Coleman had a big catch there in the middle of the field. And, of course, I said that Jordan would be able to run if he chose to run the ball. And, of course, it took a while, but that is what ultimately happened. And that is what ultimately made that offense in the fourth quarter look like the offense we saw against LSU in the second half. And look, I didn't necessarily call Duke fraudulent as far as the defense goes, because that's the strength of their team. Their offense isn't anything special. Even if Ryder Leonard is healthy, they're not special at all. They had multiple turnovers. They forced multiple turnovers against Clemson and still barely put up 28 points. So I didn't say they were fraudulent. I said that, they hadn't really faced an offense like FSU, and they were coached well, and talented, but they didn't have the depth of a defense like a Clemson. That's what I said. Go back and look at the tape. And I think you saw that. Oh, and I said that, they would pretty much they would play, too high and force FSU to have to execute down the field with long drives. And I mean, that is exactly what they did. When you go back and look at it, FSU had touchdown drives of 13 plays, 6 plays for a field goal, 14 plays for a touchdown, 7 plays for a touchdown, 5 plays for a touchdown whenever Duke went forward on that one possession and gave FSU a short field. So we knew that Duke was going to force them to execute, because FSU had not been an efficient offense from a down-to-down basis the entire year. That was a smart approach. More so than being a great defense, they just allowed. Because there's not a lot of elite, efficient offenses out there. So it's more so there's a defense that allow you to beat yourself, then try to take advantage of certain situations more than anything. But that's a smart way to coach whenever you don't have, elite talent all across the board. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you could, go ahead and like this video, man. I would appreciate it. It's going to help me reach more FSU fans and more fans in general. If you just like, quality content and, looking at footage and all that good stuff. So, so let's get into it here. I think this is it. Yeah. Okay. So the crazy part is one of the narratives coming out was FSU's defensive approach wasn't smart, because Adam Fuller didn't pressure Riley Leonard, excuse me, knowing that he couldn't really run that well or whatever. But when you turn on the footage, it says otherwise. And Adam Fuller brought pressure a lot in this game, and Riley Leonard was relatively ineffective. He didn't even have, I think it was like 67 passing yards. He was below 50% passing, and he had one run, and you'll see what happened on that particular play. So the game plan was fine. I know everybody wants, to blitz every down or whatever, but that's not realistic whatsoever. Plus, you got to figure that, hey, they're knowing he can't run and he's not going to be able to drop back. He's probably not going to hold the ball forever. So what's the use in really blitzing, trying to speed him up when they're probably going to be looking to do short passing and getting rid of the ball, right? So if you're blitzing a whole lot and you got guys coming, you're going to have, voids behind those guys. And, you don't want to give up, an explosive play doing that. So, we've been seeing that all year. Teams have been getting rid of the ball really quick. So it's kind of hard to speed guys up whenever they're already getting rid of the ball pretty quick. Okay. But yeah, going to the running game, Duke came into the game as as the best rushing offense in the ACC. And they did a really good job of running the ball. But when you look at 2 or 3 key plays in the game, they got away with some stuff, man. They got away with some stuff on some big runs. Like 2 of their bigger runs should have been holding penalties. It's just the facts. We can look at it right now. This is the first run, and I want you to watch what happens. Not only that, Fentrell Cypress takes a terrible angle on this play also. But let's look at it. Look here. See this arm? Look at this hand. And this hand's got to be on his back. He's literally trying to get away. This is Kalen DeLoach here. And you'll see why Cypress, this is a terrible angle. If you're already here, you're already beat. So holding, and you'll see this guy he'll kind of let go, because he know he got away with a hold. But at the same time, Fentrell Cypress has got to do a much better job of keeping contained here. He came down way too hard, and I don't know if he just underestimated the speed of the running back or whatever, because the guy's fast, because, Fentrell never closes the distance on this play. Look at that. And then, yeah, let's look at this one more time. So here's Fentrell. He's going to shoot down. Here's Kalen. So, look, it's always a red flag. Whenever you see an offensive lineman let go like that, he knows what it is. Okay, so enough of that one. Let's get into this one. So it is 3rd and 3. It's still the first quarter. And everybody's like, why don't you bring a blitz? So here you see Shaheem coming late. He brought pressure. First quarter. Bringing pressure. So first quarter, 3rd and 3, brought pressure. All right. So let's go to let me see. I don't know if I'm still sharing. Yeah. Let me go back. I want to say it was, maybe it was this one. No. This one is the one I want to share. Here we go. Okay. All right. Right here. Look at this. Look at these hands. Look at these hands. This is one of the big running plays. Now, I want you to watch him jerk his hands back. Watch him jerk his hands back. See that? See how he did like this right here? Look, he's there to make a tackle, man. BS. ACC riffs. But those are two huge plays that kind of change the narrative as far as, you know, Duke being able to just run all over, you know, FSU or whatever. So this is 3rd and 21. This is an interception from Shaheem Brown. So they bring a blitz. Not a well-timed blitz, but they bring a blitz. Look, AZ Thomas is coming. Conrad Huzz is coming. Got your guys rushing here. So it's not a well-timed blitz, but they, you know, gets the job done. And Leonard's not able to push off that back foot, and the ball floats on him a little bit. And Shaheem is an all-hands catch on that. So excellent job on his part. 3rd and 1 here. This is second quarter, 3rd and 1. They bring Shaheem. Look, this is Shaheem coming down. Shaheem shoots this gap. They just hit the other gap. Bell of the back suplex by Byron Turner Jr. there. So this is a 2nd and 20. This is the long run. People were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they let Ryder Leonard get scrambled that much with on one leg or whatever. Look, Shaheem comes on a blitz. Now, what happens when he comes on a blitz? This receiver is going to take this defender.
And those colored vests were signaling in the play.
Look, right where he blitzed from. I mean, it's kind of hard. That's a hard ask of Jared Verse to tackle guy in open space. Even though he's got one leg and he's running wide open, that's 265 pounds running. It's hard to change directions like that. So 2nd and 20, they blitz. Hey, I mean, sometimes you cannot – blitzing is not the answer every play. It's just not. All right? So let's go to this one. This now this play right here. This play right here irked me. Now this is an own Adam Fuller right here. Now, like I said, I give criticism when it's due. This was unacceptable. It's 3rd and 6. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this guy here. This is Kalen. Kalen's on the line of scrimmage, but he drops off to take this linebacker. I mean, I'm sorry, excuse me, this tight end. So it's 3rd and 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, a 5-man box. 5-man box on 3rd and 6 in midfield.
Offensive line being.
Watch this. I mean, when I saw this call live, man, I was livid. I was like, a 5-man box, and then I was like, well, maybe I don't have the all 22. You know, it's a bad angle, can't really see. No, it's 5-man box, and I mean that was I don't know what we were doing on that one. So that one is on Adam Fuller. But look, man, I mean they're you know, Duke's not doing much other than, you know, a few runs here and there. I guess the negative thing is they were able to hold the ball from the offense, you know, at times. Let's see what happens here. I think this is another hold.
But they lose.
Let's see. Yeah. Watch right here. Watch him literally get grabbed by the waist. Look at that. He literally has him in a bear hug. Watch. Man, come on, bro. So that's three huge, at least two, maybe three huge runs they had where is blatantly holding. I mean, there's really not much you can do on that one. And then here's another one. It's 2nd and 2, and linebacker hits the gap, and the running back hits the other gap. I thought I muted those. And thankfully, Shaheem comes down. So these guys are coming down, man. I mean, he's bringing, they're bringing guys down in the box. And here we'll see. It looks like Tatum Bethune hits this gap over here. Running back reads it, shoots through this gap. Look at that. Luckily, Shaheem is there. So sometimes, man, guys are just gonna make plays. But other than a couple calls Adam Fuller had that I disagree with, I mean, it was a masterful game when you really look at everything as a whole. I mean, if they don't, I mean, they gave up the touchdown run, which should have been a holding call. They got a field goal off of a turnover on downs where they literally got the ball in field goal range. And then they got a touchdown on a pick six, which, that's more luck, not luck. I mean, they made a play, but I mean, how often do you see deflected balls just fall to the turf and don't get intercepted? So got a touchdown off of that. But whenever it got down to the nitty gritty, and Duke got in the red zone, they couldn't do anything. They had to settle for that field goal there before the half, because once it got down there in that condensed field, they had nothing. Even when Ryder Leonard was in the game, they had nothing. On the play that Leonard got knocked out of the game, does he make that throw on 4th down? Maybe. Who knows? They hadn't shown anything. They hadn't shown any evidence whatsoever that they were going to definitely punch that in with Ryder Leonard in the game whenever they got down there before. So I said that if Ryder Leonard played, probably wouldn't finish the game. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? I mean, this game more so boiled down to, again, I've said it all season, the whole preseason. I told you this team would go as far as the offense would take it. And that's been true the whole year. This defense has been fine. Right now, with advanced metrics, with FEI advanced metrics, this defense is ranked number 9. Number 9. They haven't given up, any touchdowns in the second half since the Clemson game. I mean, I don't know how much more we want from the defense. The offense that we saw in the 4th quarter, if FSU can figure out how to replicate that with Jordan Travis running the ball the way he did, I don't think there's any team that can beat FSU. I really don't. That they have so many weapons. I mean, and we finally and so they proved that they can execute down the field when they have to. I mean, the first touchdown drive against Duke, I mean, it's 3rd and 8. It's 2nd and 20. It's crazy down in distances at times, and they just eat up yardage like it's nothing. And when they're dialed in, that offense is a problem. Now they have to figure out some things on the offensive line, and so also, like I said, credit to Duke, man. Those guys play hard. They're well coached. FSU's offensive line, they haven't had the starting five that they wanted the whole year, and the guys that they have out there now are banged up. But I won't use that as an excuse either. I mean, same thing I said with Ryder Leonard. If you go out there and play, you out there to play. So if you're out there and you're hurt, I mean, it's no excuse. You're out there and you're able to play. You're able to play. But that did probably contribute to some of Duke's success as far as getting after the run game and having success stopping FSU's run game. Part of it too, though, is just some of the play calling is like, if your strength isn't just moving guys off the ball, up the middle. Probably don't call running plays with Trey Benson where guys are flying to the ball and he has to change, try to stop and change direction. Whenever they run outside the zone with him and he's able to not lose momentum, like there's a crease there, arguably the best running back in the country. If he has to hesitate or stop or anything of that nature and try to get back up to speed again, it's usually no gain or for a loss. So, man, look, Benson runs hard, but Rodney Hill and Kazea Holmes, man, in those last two drives, now granted, Duke's defense was probably starting to gas. They don't, like I said, they don't have the depth that FSU has, and that's part of it too. It's like part of being a great defense is having depth. That's been FSU's problem the last couple of years. They have been fine as far as the starting 11, but whenever you put the backups in there, it was like, ooh, there's a huge drop off, and that's kind of where Duke is right now, and probably will stay. I mean, Duke's not anywhere where they're just going to acquire massive amounts of great talent. The thing they have going for them is they have an old team. They have a bunch of grad transfers and seniors and things like that. So, but they just don't have the depth. And the crazy part is everybody's like, oh, well, they got tired or whatever. Well, look, FSU only ran 30 plays in the second half. They ran 38 in the first half. And Duke, Duke held the ball as long as FSU did, if not longer. But the difference was in the fourth quarter, FSU had been rotating guys. And I know it's frustrating at times when you have some backups in there and they make a mistake or whatever. But where it really comes into play is at the end of the game, your guys are fresh, and you saw that they weren't able to do anything on offense. And then at the same time, you saw FSU's offense just cut through Duke's defense like it was nothing. There was no doubt that they were going to score. It felt like every possession after they went on that 14-play, 96-yard touchdown run. Now some of that, I'm sure Leonard being out of the game probably took some wind out of their sails a little bit, but he don't play defense. That doesn't mean that if you have one of the better defenses, in the country, that you should allow, them to go on FSU to go on a 14-play, 96-yard drive. Leonard don't have anything to do with that. And once they went on that 96-yard touchdown drive and took the lead, I said it on Twitter. I was like, man, it was like Mortal Kombat and Shang Tsung. Man, they took their soul with that one. And it was like after that, FSU scored on every possession after that to cover the spread and have a really impressive win. Atmosphere without this world on TV, man. I could hear the war chant. It was like, and even some of the media members that hadn't been to FSU before. I mean, I've seen them on social media talking about like, man, they said, man, it was alive, and they were like, they hadn't seen an atmosphere like that in a long time. And so some of the fruits of your labor is, you just got a flip from Miami with Armando Blunt reclassifying to 2024. So that definitely helps with missing on LJ McCray. So, gosh, that's what, 5 or 6 5-stars, or what should be 5 stars. I know some guys have gotten updated rankings, and they've been bumped down for whatever reason, but they were 5 stars at one time. Like Landon Thomas, and I think somebody else is now a 4-star. Oh, Cameron Davis, that used to be a 5-star. But really, I mean, they have like multiple top 100 players in the 2024 class. They also got a commitment from 4-star linebacker Ethan Pritchard. So linebacker recruiting, 4-star blue chip guy. There you go, guys that have been killing Randy Shannon. Now, granted, it's 2025, so a while before he can sign, but FSU's in a great place, man. 7-0, undefeated, got 2 winnable games against Wake Forest and Pitt coming up. And that should allow you to prepare for a Miami team coming to town, who, beat Clemson. So credit to them. But you got to wonder how much of Clemson. They were pretty much out of the ACC race at that point, so, and they're on the road. And I was surprised a little bit though with them coming out of a bye week. I thought that they would be better prepared for Miami, especially with Miami playing a backup quarterback. But I think that game was more so in the offense. It was real similar to the Duke game. I mean, Cade Klubnik he turns the ball over every game, it seems like. And anytime you have multiple turnovers, that'll do you. And the crazy part was, Dabo said that Cade Klubnik was supposed to hand that ball off to Will Shipley there at the end, where they got stopped, where he didn't give the ball and got tackled to end the game. That was supposed to go to Shipley, and Shipley would have scored easily. Now, granted, they still would have to get the 2-point conversion to go into the next overtime, and that's no guarantee. But that's the second or third time this year that Klubnik's kind of going rogue and not, done what they were supposed to. So I don't know, man. Might be definitely seeing Clemson begin that slide for real. FSU is in a great place. Like I said, they go take care of business against Miami, take care of business against Florida there at the end of the year, and Florida's getting ready to go up against a murderer's row slate. So we'll see what the fallout is from multiple L's that they will likely succumb to, and we'll see. Kind of the aftermath of FSU Miami is when FSU take care of business, as I've been saying all year. They got a handful of guys that they're recruiting there in the 2024, and feel good about those guys. Jamari Howard just announced he's going to announce his commitment on November 11th, I think it is. I think from all signs that looks like a go for FSU, and so you only got a couple more spots left, man. And so this 2024 class is, man, the best one since FSU's had since 2017 on paper. And that class was a lot of top heavy star power, and they kind of lacked there at the bottom, mid to the bottom. This one feels more complete, and I trust Mike Norvell's evaluations much more than I trust Jimbo Fisher's evaluations there towards the end of his FSU run. So, yeah, man. Again, credit to Duke. They played hard. They have Louisville this week. They have UNC in 2 weeks. And we saw UNC fall to Virginia. So if Duke is as good as they think they are, they should win those 2 games, and we'll rematch them in the ACC championship game, provided we take care of business. And I think that we will. And if that's the case, by all means, I'll take that matchup any day of the week. I feel like FSU can make way more adjustments to what Duke does than vice versa. And again, you're not going to have the turnover. Some people may say the kickoff return by Duke span was luck, and that is a rare occurrence in today's game. But again, if you take both of those plays out, FSU definitely dominated more of the game from just a scoring perspective, and getting stops perspective when it mattered. So big credit to Mike Norvell and the team. Man. It's hard to believe that just a couple years ago that this team was where it was at, and then look at where they are now, and they're poised to go and stay at the, you know, near the top of college football for quite a while, it seems. So enjoy, FSU fans. It's a great time to be a Nole fan, undoubtedly, compared to that 2018 to the first part of 2021. Oh my gosh, crazy times. But again, appreciate all the support. Hopefully, you know, you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, if you're still watching, if you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like it for me, and spread this on social media. Get this out to more FSU fans, and I look to have another video up regarding the Wake Forest game, hopefully in the next day or so. Until then, go Noles.